Much love to you and welcome into my returning subs, my grown, extended, beautiful family. Just thank you so much for the love and support constantly with you dropping the comments as well as, just sharing is truly appreciated. So thank you for all that. So with that being said, much love to all. Namaste, love and blessings. Love and light and many blessings are definitely coming your way. And if you have been watching my videos for a while and have not already, please like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you know when your girl's about to upload her next video. Also, if you're comfortable enough, drop me a line or two. I would love the chance to get to know you as much as you're getting to know me, even if it's about the positive feedback of the content of my video. Um, or you're just telling me about your empathic gift, how it impacted your life, and heading you towards a positive direction. And if you feel like the videos are very informative to you, give you good vibes or good inspiration, um, that you would love to share with a loved one, family, or friend, or even a fellow empath that are going through trying times at the moment and needing spiritual guidance or just confirmation or validation towards life path or even soul purposes, please go ahead and share. And while you're at it, give your girl a thumbs up, like, and also share on your social media favorites wherever you see fit. I know I put up this well, you know what I meant. uh so I hope you were able to resonate with the content of my video. I had something itching me up under my eyes, so I got so distracted. But anyways, the music that I'm listening to in the background is called Peaceful Music Meditation, 432 hertz, higher self healing, energy cleanse, enhance positive vibrations. So I will post that link in the description box below. And the video I'm doing today is Twin Flame 101. Heyokas, oh, you no longer exist. You may feel pain now to birth the new youth of tomorrow. That is so true. I've been telling y'all I've been going through different, changes in my body. And I was just wondering what was going on because sometimes I can just get up in the morning and I just feel like I'm just so much in pain. I was just I was telling one of my soul family members about that the other day, and they were like, you know what? And they're very young, and they were like, no, you're not the only one going through that. I get up in the morning and it feels like either you over exercised or doing the the horizontal hustle, or it is just like it feels like you've been into a fight or a car accident. And it is like when I get up in the morning, it's so hard for me to breathe at times. And it just felt like it was like everything. Sometimes you get these intense headaches, or you just feel very drained and overwhelmed from being drained. And it's like you can get enough sleep and stuff like that. And then while I was doing my meditations as well as my reset today, I noticed that when I allow myself to, get in solitude and, not do videos for that, even that moment or, even that day, a whole bunch of different, lessons and blessings come in when throughout my download. And it was like I told y'all yesterday when I start seeing the Indian chiefs and Native American chiefs. I'm trying to be uh, politically correct because I know they don't like being called that. We don't like being called that either. So our chief, spiritual chiefs. It was like I seen this feather, and they were doing, you see the rain dances, and you seen the, like I told y'all last time, I'm seeing myself like in a lotus position, and seeing the fire. And then when you see the fire, they ask you to stand. And then the next thing you know, they're like touching your body with the smoke that they're smoking on a piece of pipe. And then there's other things where you see the chief as well as the Native American princess and stuff like that, and they're like chanting over you. And when you're going through these things, your body is like twisting and turning, and I see it, and I'm just like, oh, okay, so basically I'm birthing out a new me. I'm like, okay, grateful. Well, do I have signs and conditions about these things? So you're gonna warn me about that. But you had to know, when you're going through these intense changes, there'll be times where you don't want to talk to anybody. You just, and it's not that you don't want to be bothered, but it's like at that time you have to go through your own personal solitude where you're going through transformation, where you cannot have any kind of interruptions. So it's like you're going into a shell, and while you're going through that, you're basically melting and dissolving away from what you used to be, what how you used to do things. There's a lot of things where, where I'm feeling a lot, as well as when people used to smoke weed like me and no longer have an interest for it. It's just like the way I look at the situations that I've transformed from. It was like there for that moment. If people need to still go through that, that's, I'm not judging or whatever. Some people do what they do, but it comes to a time where universe is going to allow you to know, hey, we allowed you to have it for this point in time, but this is something that you have to, eventually break away from because it's no longer needed. And there's a lot of times that when you're going through intense transformation within your spiritual being, um, it you won't no longer be able to endure, the high that you get. You won't be able to feel it as much as you used to. Because I mean, it was just like I had the most, intense ganja, and I could have went through a whole sack, and I would get so mad because they only last for like about 5 or 10 minutes, and then it was like poof, be gone. I said, oh no, I did not waste my money on this. So it was like I had to know, it was like moments that was telling me, okay, this is no longer going to work for you. And they'll let you use it for that time because it's like you're dealing with a lot of situations. So they, that's from the earth or whatever. um but it's going to come a time where it's no longer going to be needed. I always used to think that was my own way of getting in touch with my higher self, being my higher self. And now it's just like it's like a state of mind. It's a well-being. You can just be able to focus from your spiritual eye to where you need to be able to, go to, and it's already there. So I guess so. I've been doing so many different layers and peeling off. Like I was wondering why I'm seeing a whole lot of pictures where you see the old person and they're just zipping themselves down, and they're something totally different. I remember months ago, if you've been with me for a while, you've heard me say that, when average eyes, they see us as this person, but when we see one of ourselves, one of our spiritual beings, we see us exactly how we are. You don't see what average eyes see. You see this powerful being with the wings and all that, and it is just the way our face is shaped. It's shaped kind of different, but it's like, oh wow, it's like if you ever watched the movie Devil's Advocate, and it was like when you see Keanu. Uh, and it's just amazing that, he's knew he was like this, and it was just so happened, like if you notice the movies he's played in the past, like The Matrix, he was, Neo, he was that chosen one. And then he just did the same exact thing, you know basically, like, he was the devil's son or whatever, but it was like he's seen himself as an angel. And it's just like a lot of times I see him, I don't see him how other people see him, you know, or, you probably see other people, as in their spiritual being, but other people just see him as that person. So it's like you're no longer the person that you were. It takes you through a whirlwind of pain. Like at times, it's like you can yawn and it hurts, like your joints and stuff like that. You're going through these intense changes in your life that has really, like, you could have been that person that was on intense, addictions. And it's like when you finally break away from those things, it's not that just the withdrawals you go through as well. It's like your body goes through intense pain, and it's like, whatever you're going through is like, even regardless, I'm talking about, is it just even a person that doesn't do those, when you're going through this intense transformation, of these growing pains that you're feeling, it is just like, it feels like something so different, because it's like the way you're changing it makes you actually, it's like your thoughts are converting. It's kind of hard to explain, but if it's just like when you're going through these different changes, you start seeing your life in a different way, your past situations in a different way, where you're where you're at this moment, it doesn't even look the same, doesn't feel the same. It's you're at peace, but it's just like it kind of scary a little bit because it make you feel like, dang, am I dying? And pretty much you are. The old you is not there anymore. So it's transferring to something that is very beautiful, very delicate in such kind of way. But very powerful at the same time. It's like something very delicate but very powerful. It's like a butterfly, but yet a wasp at the same time. It's like it's beautiful, but don't stick me, But it's those things that you're going through that is about to birth you into things that you'll start seeing why you had to talk to this person, or you start seeing why you had to endure this type of situation. Why did you go this way, or what made you step back and just reset how you were doing things in that moment, or being able to heighten, like you're able to manipulate different things in your life. There's people I can talk to, and I'm like, there you go over there. Y'all see you over there manipulating the elements again. And they're like, oh my God, how you know that? Or it's just like when somebody just says hi to me, I can feel, they're going through intense changes now. And it's just like sometimes I try not to do that because it makes me feel like I'm prying, and I feel like, hey, if they want to tell me that, I'll allow them to go ahead and be open and tell me that. I don't want people every time I talk to them, it's like, man, I don't want to say nothing to her because she already knows when I'm going through stuff. So at times, if I feel like, oh, okay, please say this, say this to this person, because they may need to talk to you, but they just don't want to burden you with your things. And, I feel that, I feel that with a lot of people, you know, um, I appreciate them, asking me, hey, Roslynn, do you mind talking to me for a minute? Are you in that moment? Because it's like I don't want people to think I don't want to talk to them, but it's a lot of times you have to understand when you're going through things. I'm also going through it through going through the through too. So a lot of times I don't have that headspace to deal with that, because it's just like I might be going through some intense changes that I might, you know, um, trying to pass off to you. And a lot of times people don't understand that. It's not that, I don't want to speak to you, but if you're going through things and you're already feeling everything around you, and I'm going through some very, very intense things, and you're just now finding out about these things that you're going through, adding on to what I'm going through is not, that's not good at all, So I'm just like, oh, just give me a minute, and a lot of times if I know if it's very serious, or something that is like, is very imperative that you talk to me right now, I'll try to go ahead and put my shield up. And even at times when I'm going through things, I have to put a shield up. So, you'll just feel the vibes that I want you to feel, not the ones that I'm going through different changes. So, these things are taking place now to where things are starting to heighten for you. You're finding more confidence in like the gifts you have now, but then you're allowing yourself to actually know, okay, there's another one about to pop on, because if we have a lot of gifts. A lot of times we do things naturally. You don't even know it's a gift until you stumble up on something that has a different word, and it draws you to that. You know, um, Different things. What was it? Uh, I know how to do, psychometry. I think that's what I know is psychometry. Yeah, I had to make sure I was pronouncing it right. Psychometry, quake, all those different things. You can psychometry. You can just, either, touch somebody's things, personal objects, or even like a handkerchief, or an amulet, or a brooch or something like that. You can be able to feel the energy in it. There are certain places where they store secondhand things, and you can get very high in anxiety because all these things carry energy in it. um or it's just that even with the gift of quick, I notice a lot of people are asking me about those things, like, are you able to feel other people's energy or being able to see their path? And I'm like, yeah. A lot of times we just feel, because we're an empath, we are able to do these things, but it's actually a very unique gift that you have, that you may have been doing it since birth. You decide you want to be a Wiccan, but there's a lot of people that were anointed as that. So it's just like people may get offensive, when you're able to do things and they have to actually go through a technique just to learn that, when it just comes natural for you. I've had a couple of people that were, kind of in their feelings about that. And I'm like, hey, It's not something I'm trying to like, do. These are the things I didn't ask for. These are the things that I'm gifted at. Or, there's a lot of people that, get kind of scared when I say I used to remember, um, some of my dealings back in my past life of being in Louisiana. Um, that's where our bloodlines pretty much were birthed at, as far as I know. Because when I went there to New Orleans, Nolia, um, I felt my family presence there, and it made me very emotional. Then to that point that I was starting to see like magic shots, seeing different voodoo priestess, remembering, matter of fact, Marie Laveau. A lot of people think she was very mean, because of certain things that was said, and she was, just like anybody else, but she was very unique and very powerful, but that was a person that she didn't go off, doing little things like that unless you like really cornered her. She felt like she was betrayed in some kind of way. She has done those things. People are like, "Are you scared of her?" I'm like, "No, as long as I stayed on her good side, I was okay." But she was very, 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 very. It's kind of hard to talk about. Not hard to talk about, but it's hard to describe. It's just like her energy was very powerful. You can feel it before she even comes in the room, and that was passed on to me many, 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 you know, bloodlines. So it's just like all these different things are going into, into transformation in very an intense way. And it's like it allows you to see certain parts of your life of how things may have, start giving you some kind of notifications like, hey, there's something different going on about me. Um, Things feel kind of different, when I start doing things, or, when I either before, when you were probably on your spiritual path, before you got into your spiritual awakening, there's like people that you are attached to. um with us being empaths, we're always trying to heal the underdog, or the ones that are broken or wounded. Now it's like, you start feeling things even when people, you know, are not being, they're not being quite honest with you, and they're trying to invade in your space, and you're like, nah, you're actually going by your feelings. Like, look, my intuition been saying something about this situation, about these certain people at times, and I didn't listen to it. So now it's just like, it's just like a lot of times darkness of the enemy will send them back into your life, as well as universe, to see, okay, are they going to welcome this person back in? I mean, you don't have to wish them anything bad. Everybody goes through their phases of doing things or whatever, but you have to be able to protect yourself. Not everybody is good for you. You have to be very particular about, who you share your energy with, who you share your space with. There are certain times where, you know, um, you will, try to see if their intentions are very pure for you. And at times it's hard to really reveal that, because that person is like a karmic pit stop that you had to go through. A lot of times we get upset like, Dad, why didn't I see that before? It wasn't meant for you to see at that time. That person you were supposed to connect with, and then y'all connect, and then it, go back. But while you're healing, you're allowing yourself to see things from a broader perspective. You're seeing certain things that enticed you at one time, and now all of a sudden you're repulsed by it. All these different things are changing you into that new spiritual being that you've always been, but it's like an upgrade. Like you got a millennial upgrade on that person. So if you're going through these things to where, it may feel like you're going through intense what is it, spiritual flus. um it's like sometimes it can mess with your throat. You can go through hot flashes. It can be hot 1 minute and cold the next. That's what they were showing me as well. um then it's like your lower back. I've been having these lower back problems. I thought it was because, I got what my mama gave me back there, but it was just like, oh my God, these intense, lower back pains. I thought it was because the cushion, but it's just my body is going oh, excuse me, through different changes that you have to be able to go be aware of. It's kind of like, if I feel like, if I really want to, describe it to you, it makes, if anybody's ever seen American Werewolf in London, it's like, God, dog. Yes, it's like if you see old boy sitting up here going through these changes where his legs are like contorting and stuff like that, it feels like almost close to that. And that's some painful stuff. And it's like a lot of times I can get up in the morning and make me feel like I'm hitting the floor because I'm in that much pain, and I get aggravated because I motivate myself to, try to work out every day. I can work out that day, and then the next day, I've been used to being sore like that because there's times I used to do it 3, 4 times a day, for 3 or 4 hours, because I was very intense on, working out at that time. But now it's like, I don't know if it's just because I'm getting a lot older, or I'm just finally going through intense changes to where, I'm birthing my new self, I'm going through intense birth, you know, uh, is a lot more powerful than it was back then. And so it's like hard for me to even move at times, to where it feels like if I sneeze it hurts. So if you're feeling these intense pains, not even, no matter how old you are, it's hitting even the ones that are in their 20s. So allow yourself to know, you're birthing the new you. You have to allow these things to happen. The old you is no longer existing. Sometimes we feel like, oh, are we trying to heal ourselves to where we were before, we had our spiritual awakening? No, that person doesn't even exist. And the person you're wondering about how you're going to be in 5 or 10 years, that person hasn't even processed yet. Because when you get to that point, oh boy, it's gonna be like Godzilla. So you're gonna be go through all those different changes that needed to take place in your life. And now it's just like, while you're going through your intense birth, you are able to intensify your gifts that you have. Some people have the telekinesis at times. When I can sit up here and be uh, doing my videos. There are some people that know, especially Lost Puppy. He knows, he'll be calling them out on me. It's like, when does electronics ever work well for you? It's like, I had to go through two phones, a laptop. It's like I can move my hands at times, and then you see these rays of light coming from my hands, and used to really mess me up. Like, what the heck is that? Or at times, he even here is like, when the signal trips off, is like, because my energy is changing to where it can manipulate electronics. Like, I mean, there's times that I'm blew like 2 or 3 sound bars, in my house. When I'm going through those crazy changes, we can blow light bulbs, as well as drain batteries, just by us being in the room. There was, what was it, like 2 or 3 days ago, I was stepping by my TV, and it kept on losing signal, because we got the digital cable, or whatever you want to call it. And then as soon as I walked away, all of a sudden, my ex is like, "What the hell's wrong with you? Can you move away from the TV?" Because every time you move, it's like you're manipulating the signal in between that. So those tend to happen, or you can be going through a lot of different changes to where you can even manipulate the weather. So, because there's times where I was really going through it for a few days, and next thing you know, it rained for 4 or 5 days, and it just so happened when I was really going through some motions at that time. And then when I healed, and I came to, came to it, just to let it go. All of a sudden, it was nice and sunny the next day. But all these different things are happening for a reason. You're going through intense. Those things are happening for a reason, because you're no longer the person you used to be. It's shaping you into the person that you were meant to be. So I hope you are able to resonate with the content of this video. I would love to give a post notification shout out to Linda Bell, as well as let me see who else. Miss Laureen, Brandon, and as well as what is it, Elsie Kitty 21. Much love to you as well. I'm going to do at least probably about two. I'm thinking about two more videos, since I don't, basically rest and stuff. But I still think I got a couple of, bars left on me. So I hope you were able to resonate with the content of this video. like and subscribe if you have not already. Hit that notification button so you know when I'm about to upload my next video. Drop me a line. I would love to give you a post notification shout out. And if you're new, welcome. So good to have you. If you would love to get in contact with me and want to have a one-on-one, I do a lot of those as well. I always tell people, if you're not, comfortable with, telling about your things that you're going through, I always tell people you can always reach me. Some people do it on the Gmail that you can find on my about in my channel. Uh, is Mckoy R40 at gmail.com. That's all lowercase. And you can find me at Facebook Messenger, right up under my name. I always tell people, whatever we talk about is confidential. My chat times is in between 10 a.m. in the morning till 10:30 p.m. at night, Pacific Standard Time. That goes on for all 7 days. And I try to help anybody out on their spiritual journey, and giving them some kind of understanding. If I can't give you that exact answer, I always try to make sure I send you in the direction that you could get the answers from. So I will talk to you in my next video. So I hope you have a good day, good evening where you are in the world. I hope you have blessed, prosperous time. I know we're all going through these different shutdowns and quarantines and stuff like that. But I hope you're being safe in everything that you do. I hope whatever you're trying to manifest into your life comes 100,000 times more than what you asked for, and it comes so much sooner than you expected it. Share, give me a thumbs up, um, and know that you're truly blessed, highly favored, and forever loved. And knowing there's always somebody out there praying for your better days. And make sure you give out love, light, positivity, as well as prosperity, love, vibe, frequency, and words towards others. You never know; those things can really take them a long way. And I'll see you on my next video. Much love to you. Peace. Be well.